breath in. And 1 slow breath out. And welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second episode of Good Vibrations.
All right.
Good vibration.
All right. I
Hi,
hope
guys.
all is well.
Well, welcome back, you guys. We wanted to start today's episode off kind of touching base on what we started last week, which was the 7-day challenge, the Monument Challenge. And we've all been participating in it. And I just wanted to circle back, like, where are we at? What day are we on?
6.
Day 6. So day 1 was get ready for yourself. Day 2 was
Workout. Right?
Yeah. And then day 3 was
meditate.
Meditate.
One.
Yep.
Day 4 was do something, clean your space.
Today was try something new.
Yeah.
Right? Today's try something new or do something different.
Those days.
Whatever. It all good vibration.
Yesterday was eat and nourish your body.
That's right.
Nourish your temple. Yeah. So we've kind of been doing this, and you guys can always tune in and check out like the different days that we've got. So far, I've missed 2 of the days that I have to make up for because I've been like just a nutbag getting all this stuff together for this broadcast. But it's still, honestly, it's been super helpful. Just like a simple reminder, every day to be like, hey, and making it a routine. Like, have you guys made it a routine? So every day when you wake up, you're like, I'm getting ready.
Yeah. And your video was really helpful too. It inspired me to do it. I was like, oh, she looks great. Like I want to do some of that cream too. Okay. And it inspired me to want to, so it's like when I see that's the energy we're talking about. When you see someone else doing it, it's more like, thank you for reminding me that I feel good when I put on my creams and my things. So I think that's the whole point is it can become a collective effort because everyone's trying to help everybody else right now.
Right. What was your favorite day, Pranna, so far?
Every day is my favorite day. Out of those, I can't pick one over another. I appreciate all of them. All of them involve movement. Get into a space where you're moving instead of just feeling like you have to just sit and being responsible, held liable for what you do. That is the challenge to me, especially when you're looking where you're being looked at by other people or people's waiting to see what you're going to do. So just like Emily said, it's encouraging when you see somebody else do something, then it motivates you to do something as well. So, but I like all the days. All the days were good to me. All of them had purpose, meaning behind them, and that's what I like. That's what this is all about.
Emily, what about you? What was your favorite day?
I think all of them were important actually. And one of the things that bringing back to the movement and what he was saying, what both of you guys were saying too, which is it's hard to get in, but when I notice if I don't have it, my body craves it. So it's more about being creative in our movement versus hard on ourselves for not getting it. Here where I'm at in New York, it's challenging to go outside. I literally ran with a mask yesterday and I ran in my neighborhood, carefully, but my husband was not going out yesterday and he's like, I gotta move. And he found a creative way to do a workout on the TV for a few minutes. And it's when I took that time to do it for myself and when he took that time to do it for him, the working out, it was our energy was much more, it was better. Let's be honest, it's just a little bit better because we took some time to do something we knew was good for our body. So I think that's what I try and do every day, even if it's not fun. I'm not sitting there running around with a mask. This is the most enjoyable run. It's the vibe here is so great. No, it's New York City. It's oh my God, I don't want to do this, but I know I need to do it because it'll make me feel better. And it gets out a lot of that, it gets all that negative or energy that we picked up from our experiences. So I think that one was a good one.
Sharina, what about you? What was your favorite so far?
Okay. I have not been really great with this challenge like I would be with other challenges, which is odd because it's a 7-day challenge and I've committed myself to 42-day challenges. It's been a bit hard.
Well, you're in a different place,
Also,
you know, like
yeah,
life is
well,
not as
Right,
usual.
right.
And I'm
Right.
all, I feel like during this time I've seen the blessing and everything, and I've like really immersed myself in like my spiritual career. So I've been like focusing a lot on that, and then also with the children, and you know, living with my in-laws and things like this. It's like a lot of,
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
It's a
But
lot.
the ones that I did really enjoy was like getting ready for myself, because I do that every morning. I feel like this challenge has
That's
taught
good.
me to get ready for myself, whether it be like not be in pajamas all day. So I'll like
Sure.
put clothes on and put the clothes on not for anyone else. I'll put them on for myself. And I really like doing something different. So I did something different with my hair for once, because my hair always looks like this. This is it.
Oh, I loved that. Was
Wet
that the day you
down
did like the
straight,
buns?
and then one day I just put it up in buns, and I felt like Sailor
How
Moon,
fun.
and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And I need to get back into the working out mode. I feel like my body's in constant workout mode because
Your
I
mom.
breastfeed, and I'm not joking. Okay. Breastfeeding takes a lot of
Yeah.
calories, and
It
it's a
does.
big workout. And every time I breastfeed her, I want to go to sleep after. It's like I did the biggest workout ever. So for me, and I'm ripped right now. I don't know what it is.
Because you've been
It's-
working
you know,
out with her.
I'm gonna breastfeed till she's 5 years old. Okay.
But
But
what's so interesting is you're so mindful of your body, though. I think, and one of the things that we've discussed in other times is like that experience. How could you not be mindful of your body? You know what I mean? Of course you are. And like your body is working. It's like if we take a second and be like, you're working so hard. Your body's working so hard. Like that's amazing. That's like the most natural kind of workout, so to speak. Like it can be mindful movement for other people who aren't breastfeeding. And it's true though. Like when you listen to your body or take a second and you're like, holy shit, I'm like super tired because I just literally worked out and I gave so much. So I think it sounds
I'm
like
sure
you've got
Lila appreciates it.
the best.
Personally, like my thing in regards to the challenge, what I enjoyed was, like I said, I've started putting it into sort of a routine practice for me because it is a daily thing. So like I'll get up and just have a routine, which is, you know, get dressed or take a shower at night and wash my face and like make sure I've spent like a long time brushing my teeth or making my bed a certain way, and just really cultivating those practices that are, when we're in a hurry, we sometimes forget. But I think in the beginning of this, like I found that those practices weren't as important. Now they're becoming like a ritual that I need, you know, where I have to wake up and be like, hey, what did you do today to help you through the sanity of, ultimately everything is shifted. You know, we're online, we're talking to each other virtually. There's a lot of screen time on my end. It's just a lot of being at the computer. So when I need to take that break or go outside and connect with nature, like, have you guys been doing that at all during this time? I mean, Sharina, you're outside right now, but how is it in New York, Emily? Like trying to connect with nature while you're in the city?
Well, that's a good question. And when there's two things, one thing that we were saying that I thought was really interesting was, and Sharina brought this up last week, which I thought was so cool because I thought about it all week, which was, oh, look at that's so pretty.
Oh, wait,
I
hold
haven't
on.
seen that much nature in a while.
I did that for y'all.
Show us again, Sharina.
But,
I missed it. Oh, that's nice.
peaceful.
That's nice.
One of the things that I've noticed that I used to say, I think my ego, or, you know, kind of like that rush and that hurry part of me would be like, I don't have time for it, but I've noticed it's just so vital right now, is in the morning, I've been doing a meditation. It's not a very long meditation, but it's like under 5 minutes. And it used to feel like 5 hours. I don't have time to slow down. I don't have time to do this. But when I do it, and the reason I brought it up from last week, because I loved how Sharina said she would do her meditations in the shower. There are ways that work for different people to do it. For me, it just means like sitting down and doing it. And it's not always like the thing I really want to do, but the effects throughout the day of me being able to manage my stress, or me being able to take on emotions that I didn't think I was gonna have to take on, I just noticed such a significant difference. And so I found that being consistent with that and doing it in the morning as part of my routine has helped me. And I think it helps a lot of people, even if it's just like 1 or 2 minutes, or doing it in a way where you're with the baby or you're with your kids, and you're like, I'm doing a deep breathing thing and listening, tuning in for a moment. I think that is, if anybody could do anything once a day, especially in the morning, it would be that. Breathe, meditate, do something
Absolutely.
to regulate yourself.
It's very important. It's very important. What a lot of people, well, people are catching on to now, just like you said, and you are your own witness. A lot of our, I don't have time, I got this, I got
Yeah.
that. It is anxiety and stress, pressure, and it's actually pressure inflicted on yourself by yourself because of what you hold yourself accountable to, putting a time frame on it. And once you start to do those things like the breathing and stuff, first of all, you're always in tune. So when you feel that you're coming more in tune, it's switching the vibrations that you're on to be in alignment with the tune that is your frequency. So, and a lot of us get out of a balance because of that. And you don't realize it until you begin to take the time and find your balance through doing the breathing to put you in tune with the frequency that's vibrating for you. So when we
Like
get off
nature
is when we
too, right?
begin. Yeah, absolutely. When we get off is when we begin to rush things. The old saying from the practices that I was taught by the old teachers, they say when you begin to rush, that's letting you know you should slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And every situation where I've had an experience of that is always the same, rushing for nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that when you were asking about the nature, New York is not a place that we generally think of as very abundant in nature. But there are birds, there are squirrels, there are it's actually, I'll go outside several times a day, honestly, with the intention of I got to get a little vitamin D, or I've got to get the hell out of here, or I'm gonna, and I'll walk outside just up and down the street and look at at whatever's there nature wise, meaning it could be a tree, it could just be getting out and getting some fresh air, like safely, don't worry about like my mask and everything, and I have a little roof. But it's that intention of I'm doing this for my lungs, for my body, so I can kind of tune in, and I do a little bit of protecting myself too, just so I don't pick up all the energy.
Absolutely.
What do
Don't
you do to
that right
protect
there.
yourself? Prana, didn't you have like a tip? You have a good tip for how people should protect themselves before they leave their homes.
What was my
What
tip? What was my tip? Tell me what my tip was.
you know your tip. Wait, it was to zip yourself up.
Yeah,
What was
I've
that?
done that.
Absolutely, yeah, the zipping yourself up. And it's simple as it sounds. It is very powerful, and it is just what it sounds like it is. Zipping yourself up. So act like you have on a jacket and simply just zip yourself up from that bottom point all the way to the top of your head. What's going on is people tend to ignore the fact that we are light beings, meaning we're full of electricity. And whether you feel it or not, every move you make it conducts electricity in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do the zip up motion, you're taking that electricity and using it as a defense mechanism. And you're basically covering yourself from the root base chakra all the way up to the crown chakra, and it's protecting you from negative energy. So that's a simple scenario. It doesn't take any time at all. All it takes is you doing the motion and zipping yourself up. And you can protect yourself from a lot of things around you taking place that's not so good in your favor. And it works.
I
It's
used to
just
have a
as
post-it that said zip up before I would leave my office, and also before I would leave my house. No one else really knew what it meant, but it was the same thing of like, and put it on my
absolutely,
hoodie, and it's an invisible hoodie.
absolutely. It's just as powerful as having your crystals on you or using your crystals.
That's the
I
other
remember
thing
I
that I
was
do.
in I was in the gym with this bodybuilder guy, and someone introduced me and it was like, "Hey, Pranna, show him the zip up thing." And when I'm in the gym, and I often display it a lot in the gym because you got big dudes or whatever, and they're in the bodybuilding, whatever they do. So when I do it, I always pick the biggest guy because a lot of people think bigger means being stronger. So what I would do is actually unzip him, and he would be like, okay, what did you just do? And I'll be like, go lift that weight you just lift. And he can't move it. And everybody around will be like, WTF, what did you just do? And then that's when I go into the theory of explaining the body and electricity. So just like that, you can take power from people and just as well give yourself power, give people power as well. But no one believes it until they go through the experience of it. You have to see things and feel things. And I mean, that's just how we wire, but I always do it. And I love doing it.
Great practice to have. And it's just the simplest of things. As they say, like when you believe in something, you make it real. So you do have to believe in that and just like start to like, I love that aspect of what Disney said when he was like, believe in magic, but that's the truth, is like, do believe in the magic and do believe in the power of you, and do believe in like the idea that if you give it power, i.e. giving the negative, the positive, or whatever you're going through, poof, like that becomes your reality. Sharina, you had one of your audience members that wanted to join in our monument challenge so far, right?
I've had a few people tell me like, oh, this is great. And I'm really grateful that you're like having me be a part of the challenge. And at the same time, I feel like I need to step up in the challenge myself.
Me too.
And maybe that's not why like my followers and things like this are not stepping up as much as I have, is because it hasn't been embedded into my daily schedule yet. I've been finding moments of time for myself outside of the challenge. But then when those moments come, it's like the first thing in my mind wasn't the challenge. It was like, oh, this moment is like, I could have this for me. I would be focusing on myself because I've had like this week, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but this week for me has been like, whoa, like
energetically, this has been like a gnarly week. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was draining. It was more so like my dreams, even more so this week, have been like, I have done so much dream work that through the day I'm like working out those things and acknowledging them. And I've had to deal with a lot of like self-work this week, but this upcoming week I'll be more immersed into the challenges. I just want everyone to know that for myself, I have been focusing on my elevation work so I could be 100 for everyone else that's viewing this show.
Hey, well,
so I've got some rose quartz here, and this is for self-love and love and compassion. So this is to everybody. Get your love and compassion. It's all because I wanted to make a little reframe of what you guys both just said, because what's really interesting is I have a feeling you've done a lot of the things in the challenge without noting it.
Yep.
I know that you both have been eating for nourishment. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to feed your baby or yourself. We wouldn't be here being present. I have a feeling that you probably actually have done something new today, because guess what? I don't think you've ever filmed outside with bullfrogs, which we're not here anymore, behind you.
Yes.
And it's working out, right? Or that you've ever, Jenny, probably, I don't know what you do different today. There was probably something that you just didn't take stock of it. So it's, instead of being like, I have to be better at it, what if we're all just kind of like, let me just take a moment and you know what?
It's like filming it. Filming it is a hard thing. I'm like,
but you know what? I didn't film all my stuff
in my life.
I was like this. Just talk about what you did.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's all good.
And I'm only saying this.
It's weird. It's the filming it thing that can be challenging, but at the same time, you'd be surprised. I think people watching us go through it too, and really be challenged with it, or show what we're doing or how we're processing it. That's what's helpful. Because I don't know about you guys, but like this week, truthfully, has been just energetically, it's been challenging, and like I have felt like lonely. I don't know if for like Sharina, you're with your family, so it might be a lot, but there's those moments where you're like, is anyone else going through these sort of waves right now?
It's a different kind of thing, because even when you're with family, you have all this physical support, but like your internal support is different, because a lot of the things that we go through is internally, and it's like I can't explain every little elevation I'm going through in my mind. It's like I have to keep that to myself. And then you have an 8-year-old coming at you, and then an 8-month-old coming, like wanting to suck on your boobie, and then your husband, and then your mother-in-law and everything. So I'm very grateful but at
It
the
is
same
a
time,
lot, right?
it's like trying to
Mm.
find that moment to tune in. It gets drowned. So I have to
Well,
be better with that for myself, not for like the viewers, but for myself, so I could be more 100% with everything else. You know?
Right.
well, that's part of resurrection. That's where we're at right now with the Easter holidays.
Yeah.
Being able to come back, asserted as a new self, renewed, refreshed, and revitalized. And in that being said, whatever you go through, whatever that process is for you, you'll begin to notice things about yourself, different things that take place, like the change, not just physically, but how you think. How you think, because right now that's what we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's
Yeah.
thinking, being in a different mindset of thinking. So it's a reset and a resurrection taking place at the same time, and it's like a baptism. From this, you become your higher self, at least higher than the level in which we went into this as versus coming out. So one of the sayings that I love saying is, in life you'll never graduate. This is the ultimate university. The universe always teaches lessons, so prepare to forever learn. And with that being said, just know that however you feel now, you made it to that next level of who you are to be in this time, and it's preparing you for the level to come after.
And
But
taking the steps
yeah.
to kind of like say the steps, just taking the because steps sounds like work. I think it's more, and I love that you said that, Pranna, because I feel like we're all learning. Life's going really fast, to what Jenny was saying earlier. Life's moving really fast right now in some ways, and we can choose to slow down so that we can say what part of this isn't working.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm not in a situation where I've got as many people in my house, right, as I do outside, but I'm like, okay, so I know based on the fact that I felt anxious when I was out, you know, a few hours ago, because there was a lot more people, and then I was picking up on that. I was like, I know that this is not a good time for me to go out again. These small little self-aware things
Yep.
that can raise my vibe or deplete me, I'm taking a moment to just acknowledge. And that's how, and in the bigger stuff too, of like that person or that particular situation may not be serving me anymore. And that's where I think a lot of people are right now. What is it that I need for growth, and what do I need to let go of so
Yeah.
I can be reborn in some ways?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, is that how y'all are feeling
Something,
too?
yeah, something new that
There's
I
my
wanted to
Texas
actually
came
chime in.
out.
Something new that I actually did do for the past, I'm on day 3 now of this, and I called in. I'm actually working with my archangels right now, so this is why I've
Aw.
been kind of like, because I've been flying with them a little bit. So it's like that's
Cool.
something new, and it's very cool.
Yes, it is.
Really intense though. Like,
Yeah, I
so,
said heavy, and I didn't mean it in a bad. I meant heavy, like, ooh, like if they're showing you what you need to let go of and what you
oh yeah,
need to
oh yeah.
release,
But
and so
I
that you
feel
can
like
fly higher.
that's what I felt that way this week, where there's been a couple of things Prana knows that I've just been faced with, I think, where it's like, let go of it or hold on to it. What do you want to do? Is this what you want to continue doing for a long period of time? And it's like this harsh reality that we're sort of up against.
And the more we overthink it, like you said it perfectly, and I bet Pranna would say the same way in some ways, is like I had a situation similar this week where I was like, I knew what to do, but my brain was like, nah, it's gonna be real fun to just obsess over it. Like, no, don't. I like had to stop myself from doing that and be like, no, it's either this or that, and just make a decision. And I knew the right decision to make, but it was like our brain's been conditioned to want to obsess sometimes because we wish it would be different. Sometimes it's just not different. Sometimes you have to accept the reality of the situation, even though it's painful or frustrating, you know. And it's hard. I'm not the best at it. I'm learning to be better with it.
So in closing, for each and every one of us, let's leave to whomever it is that may be tuned in something to think about. And with that being said, in that, whatever it is that you give to think about, make it a challenge for yourself as well. And let's talk about how you were able to overcome that. Stop fighting yourself and let take place what's to take place, so you can get to that next level in your life. Because more than likely what it is that you fear is the very thing that you need to get what you desire in life. It's just waiting on the other side of fear. That's been said many times before. So
Your one thing you would leave for people and challenge yourself with.
Challenge myself is I'm gonna say something from a personal thing that I know that I need to work on, that I feel like would really help with others, is really surrender with flow. Go with the flow. Like right now, you're not racing to go nowhere. You're not racing to finish a project. Well, maybe not you, Jenny, you got a lot on your plate, but it's there's a lot of time that we could be just sitting and really tuning into ourselves. So I feel like right now, just go with the flow and surrender, because when you fight it, you get that anxiety feeling. And I've been going through that myself this week. And even though I knew where the anxiety was coming from, it was all self-inflicted. Like I did that to myself. And I have to like sit there and go, it's okay. Like, I'm sorry I did that to you.
that's right.
Because
Pat yourself on the back.
I need to go get this done. Why do I need to go get that done? Like, what? I can do that later. But it's because I'm trying to get myself out of that mode in myself. So it's all positive things. So just my advice is go with the flow and stop letting yourself get in the middle of yourself, in front of yourself.
Yeah. Like 5 things just came up. So I'm like, where do I even go with this? But I think for me, it's going to be, and I think this is a challenge that other people could probably try to, I mean, I'm like writing, I post-its are my favorite kind of way for me to remember things. And I was writing something down, which is like, take a minute to focus on myself, like take a breath, focus on what, like in the middle of the day, I'm going to set an alarm, I think. And it's going to be like, in this moment, like, just take a moment for myself so I can actually think clearly, because I think I go on the busy train too. And then I'm just depleted and I'm not as happy to be, I'm not as like, okay. So I'm like, okay, like fake smiles. I want to like not fake smiles. What I mean by that is when I don't pause throughout the day, and we don't pause throughout the day, we just aren't able to show up for the people in our lives or for the creative stuff that we're trying to do. So I'm like gonna set an alarm at like 2 o'clock every day, I think. Just be like, and this is your minute of just breathing. And I've been doing that with my clients. I've been encouraging them to do the same thing and even doing the breathing with them. And I haven't been doing it myself. So I'm like, better show up for everybody else and do the same stuff for myself, you know? So set an alarm, like just for 1 minute a day. I think we all have that ability to do it. And it may be pushed off because of other stuff, but
cool.
You know.
So take a moment to pause for the cause.
Yes, I love that. Pause for the cause.
Put anxiety to the side as best as you can and out in front of you, you know, and I think I said this last week, but really like live in the moment and trust that when we say we're all in this together, we really are. And I think that it's like such a nice reminder to know that you just have to kind of reach out and ask for help, or you can look for tools that are available to you so that you guys aren't struggling during this time. And, you know, one thing that I've been practicing, I think is really good, but when you start to get in that mindset where you feel negative or you feel down, just like stop and reprogram your brain and like rewind and think of something amazing and happy, like a time that you were super happy, or even switch your thought to be like, I'm so grateful right now for this roof over my head, or I'm so grateful right now that I get to speak to you guys and like connect with you, even if it's just, you know, on Zoom. But I'm thankful for you guys. And so it's just like those really simple moments to reset, retrain, and then like let those thoughts go away. So that's my challenge to myself too. I have to train my brain, because I can vacillate, you know, between like positive and negative.
Set that alarm, your gratitude alarm.
Yes, exactly.
Yours is gonna be
Take
10
a
gratitude.
moment to pause for the cause.
Yeah.
Pause for the cause.
Sharina.
All right, Pranna, what's yours? What are
Sharina?
you gonna leave us with?
I thought I just did.
No, you gotta pause for the cause. You can't. That's Emily.
I
I
mean,
like your zip up thing.
I mean, yeah, you can do that, but as I was saying, you know, stop fighting yourself and whatever it is that you look at as fear, you know, face it. Let that be your challenge, because more than likely what you fear is really what's holding what you desire in life. It's just an illusion. So, once you get past that cloud, if you will, of illusion, you always see what it is on the other side that you desire. And when you conquer, like, this whole time, I never would have thought this was the way to get to where I wanted to be, because I was fearing it. So you let go of the fear, you face the fear, you challenge that illusion, and your prize is on the other side.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our second episode of Good Vibrations. We're going to leave you today with 3 very deep breaths, and we're just going to reset with a place of abundance. And we do hope you guys join our challenge, the Monument Challenge. Just go ahead and check in, on the website or any of our stories to find what day you want to start with. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And absolutely, I'm going to
send us all.
Yes,
all of
we'll send y'all off as well with the root chakra. Speaking that everybody gets in alignment with being in movement towards where it is they're trying to go. So let's take these deep breaths and give them what we have to offer.
Be gentle with yourselves, everyone. Remember, the pink supermoon had just passed. Feeling all the vibes.
That's right. Love yourself. Love life yourself.
Feel that
good vibration. It's every time. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
All right. Bye-bye.
Till next time with the good vibration.
Yeah.
This has been a Monuments production.